James Lynch here for Home of Fight. Happy to be joined by the number 4th ranked bantamweight Cory Sandhagen here on the program. I want to know what's going on with him because a lot of us thought it would be him, Sean O'Malley at the White House. They went in a different direction. But Cory, first and foremost, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just back in Colorado. I started a gym a couple weeks ago, Tiger Beetle Martial Arts, so that's up and going, and that's a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's keeping me really busy, but yeah, that's kind of all that I got going on.
Well, that's a lot. Congrats on the new gym and everything. Is it just you running it by yourself, or do you have a partner? Take me through that side of things because this is something obviously pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, it's me and my wrestling coach Carrington Banks, who's in the corner also with Trevor, and yeah, we just kind of wanted to get our own gym going, get our own team going, and just get the whole business side of life going a little bit. And he's working his butt off, running a lot of it. I'm around teaching classes, and yeah, like I said, man, it's been a ton of fun, like way more fun than what I thought. I thought it was gonna be a lot more stressful, and there's stress, but it's like it's just busy work and it's fun outside of that. So
was this something you set to do before, like you got in MMA? Was this something you thought would ever happen, that you would run your own gym? Was it always a plan, or was it something that sort of came along as your career was moving forward?
yeah, I kind of had that in me. I think more than probably a lot of other fighters, just in wanting to start a gym and be a coach and do all of that stuff. Just yeah, that's kind of always been in me. So yeah, I'm glad that we got to do it, and yeah, it's taken off really well, and I think that we're gonna have a really good team here. I mean, we already do, but I think it's going to be really, really good in about 4 or 5 years once I can build some guys up and get them good.
Cool. So are you still going to be working with Trevor Wittman? Like, are you still doing your camps with him, or are you just doing everything at your own gym now?
No. Yeah, we're definitely still going to be doing a lot of stuff with Trevor. Trevor's going to come down, watch sparring at our place, and then I go up there Monday, Wednesday, Saturday mornings and train with him. So I make the drive out. It's like an hour drive all the way up to Golden, and then so I do that about 3 days a week. But yeah, me and Trevor are. Trevor's doing good. Trevor, the Onyx stuff is going really good. They're launching a bunch of new products, and they're working hard on that. Obviously, Gaethje is doing really good too, fighting at the White House.
I'd say so. Yeah, that's a pretty big fight.
Yeah, getting all of that going, and so yeah, the whole team's doing real well.
Good stuff. Now let's cut to the chase here. Your reaction to seeing Sean O'Malley get the fight with Aiemann Zahabi, because I think a lot of people felt like the stars were going to align and this fight was finally going to happen because we've been wanting to see it for years.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, I've been calling for O'Malley for a really long time. It's kind of exhausting, like I just don't even really uh like I don't think that the dude's ever gonna fight me. I think that he even in this next run of things, I think that if he doesn't get a tight like if he doesn't win this fight, I think he'll retire. I think if he doesn't have like another title shot run or get to fight for the belt again, I think he's gonna retire. The whole like I was never offered Cory Sandhagen thing, like that's not how it works with a guy like Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley gets asked, like, hey, man, like, what are you thinking next? And he says. And any other answer other than Cory Sandhagen to me is just like a cop out punk move. I think that me and him was the guy to make, and it's in my opinion on him that it wasn't made. So sucks for the fans. I'm like bummed for everyone too. I wanted to fight him, and I wanted people to be excited about me and him fighting, which they would have been, and it just sucks.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyways. Why do you think he doesn't want to fight you?
I think I'm a tough fight for him, man. Like, I mean, Sean's whole thing is keeping space and being long and fighting from the outside, and against me, he won't be able to do that. And that's just, Sean's like really good at like low risk, high reward types of matches. Which is kind of a shame because I don't think that really speaks to like people and the fans as much as like big risks. Like I remember I was probably the biggest fan of O'Malley when he stepped up to fight Jan, and then when he fought Sterling, even though the Sterling fight was still a little bit, like he had an entire year to get ready for Sterling, and Sterling was being active during that time. So even then, it's like Sean was most inspiring and most impressive when he was stepping up to the plate, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a lame way to go about doing things, in my opinion. But it's his life, and I'm sure that there's a lot of benefits to doing it that way too. So it is what it is. It's his life.
And I mean, no disrespect to Aiemann Zahabi by asking this next question, but if he was fighting someone like Umar, would you have been less upset by that if he had fought him instead, like a top kind of opponent there? Because I think that's another fight that people wanted to see.
Definitely, definitely. It's like Aiemann. I think Aimann's like the nicest guy in the world, so it's really hard to like say anything negative about him. He's a nice dude, and I don't want to but yeah, I mean he's on a 7-fight win streak, whatever. Beat Aldo in a really close fight, barely beat Cheeto in a really close fight, and now is fighting for a title contender. So it is what it is, though, man. Like this sport is kind of weird, and it's like sometimes things land in your lap and you take the blessings when they come, and then you kind of just fight through the times that aren't like that. So that's how it is. But I'm happy for him, and he seems like a super good dude, and good on him. I think maybe if he wins, he'll be like the first Canadian to fight for the belt in a really long time. So that'll be
no, you're right about that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And honestly, so I've watched a lot of Aiemann because I was kind of thinking that they'd maybe do me and Aiemann, and I would have been okay with that fight too. But I've watched Aiemann, man. Aimann's like, he's going to be a really tough challenge, more than I think everyone thinks, because even when I was watching, studying him and like how to fight him, I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot harder than, it looks on paper, because the style is kind of ugly, to be honest. But he pulls out wins, and it works for him. So.
And I'm assuming you feel like O'Malley will defeat Aiemann in that fight?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I think it'll be difficult for him still. Like, I don't think it's going to be like he'll just go out and whoop him up, but I think it's going to be a little bit competitive, but I think Sean will stay ahead almost the entire fight.
And just last thing on this fight that didn't end up happening, does this surprise you at all? Because I think for a lot of fans right now, some of the matchmaking lately has been kind of in line with this new era with Paramount. Like, for example, a lot of people were not happy about Diego Lopez getting an immediate rematch with, not immediate, but Volk having to fight Diego Lopez when he clearly beat him the first time. We've seen some matchmaking like that lately, where it seems like they're going more on, entertainment or just like they're doing things differently than they have in the past. So kind of getting back to, with that all in mind, did this surprise you that they went that route with O'Malley and Zahabi?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it definitely should have been me and O'Malley, but those guys do their thing, and they have their process and ways of thinking, and that are probably outside of the things that I think about. I think about, how does Cory Sandhagen win a title? Like how do I go about navigating that? And they think very differently than how to win Cory a title. So that's okay. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, man. Like, I think that the world's a little bit weird. I think that social media has made everything weird. And I think that it's like we're kind of celebrities, which is weird. And yeah, it's like, it's just, I don't really know if I would blame the UFC for that as much as I would just blame like the nature of the world right now, because like celebrityum and fandom and like building personal brands on social media, and then but also like what that means and how to do that is very strange too. So yeah, it's just a weird world. I don't know, it's kind of probably too complex for me to wrap my mind around.
When do you want to fight next? Now that this opportunity's kind of passed by, the White House card is set, they're only doing a certain amount of fights. What is there, like a card or a time you want to return and have that, keeping in mind obviously you just opened up a gym?
Yeah, I mean, June or July, I'm good with the gym. But, I have really good people working for me, and Banks is, like I said, doing a really awesome job. So the gym's all good. We're all settled in and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I want to fight this summer. It's been kind of too long. So I think something this summer. I'll see, I guess, kind of what they say. And I guess if there is anyone out there outside of, well, everyone would almost be a rematch at this point. So it's like whoever they say is going to get me closer to the title and blah blah blah, that's who I'll fight. I don't really care.
You don't have an opponent in mind, because you're right. Like, yeah, a lot of them would be rematches. I think there's one name out there that kind of maybe people are thinking about possibly, just with the way the matchmaking has been going lately, is Peyton Talbott. He just beat Henry Cejudo. It seems like the UFC's very high on him with the fact he got the Cejudo fight. You guys have the same management, if I'm not mistaken. Is that a fight that you think could happen next?
Probably not next. But I'm trying to withhold insider information. That's why I'm answering this question.
Okay, no worries. Fair enough. Okay, that's fine.
It's okay. I would definitely fight Talbot, and when that name or if that name was ever floated by me, I've always said yes. And but I don't think that the UFC probably wants to do that fight right now, just because I think, be way too tough of a fight for Peyton. So it's probably going to be a Bautista or maybe someone else in the rankings.
David Martinez just beat Cheeto. I mean, he's another name. Like, there's a few names that you haven't fought that I could see the UFC maybe going in that direction. We'll see.
Yeah, I thought about the Martinez guy too. His fight with Cheeto is really close, and it didn't like create a ton of buzz. I think that the only guy with like some significant buzz is Bautista and Talbot, and I would fight either one of those guys.
Well, and that would be a rematch too, because you obviously defeated Bautista in his debut, and there was, that was a long time ago. I think it would be cool to, and you know what's cool about that fight too, if that ever does end up happening. He's like you, respectful guy. You don't have to worry about the trash talk. There's just two true martial artists going at it and fighting each other, and two that have improved tremendously since that first fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, he's been on a tear. He even looked really good in the Umar fight, and I've always sung Mario praises. And yeah, I mean, he's been on a tear, so that fight makes a lot of sense. And then if they want to go like entertainment route and stuff like that, like I said, a Talbot fight is fine with me too.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the only reason I brought up Talbot too is because, like, as an example, your buddy Curtis Blades, he's fighting in a little bit here at 327. He's fighting Josh Hokett. I mean, realistically, that's a fight that probably wouldn't have been made a couple of years ago. But it's just because, again, like, they're trying to push certain fighters, I think, and also, I mean, they keep cutting these heavyweights, and they're not replacing them in the division. So it's like, who's left, right? Like, and Curtis is the same thing. He's fought so many guys already in your weight class, right, or in his weight class, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. The only like kind of thing I would say to, like, they have to build up new guys, and so they have to guys and stuff like that. So that's like a part of the sport that needs to happen. My thinking around the entire thing is, if someone is better than me, take my spot. You know what I mean? I'm not here to like guard my, like number 4. You know what I mean? I'm not here to do that. I'm here to like challenge myself and see if I'm actually the best. And that's like how I do things, so I don't really think in like maybe I'm a little silly for not doing it, but I don't think in like let me try to not let go of this identity that I've created to the public by losing, or everyone sees me as a winner. And if I'm considered a loser, I'll make less money and my life will suck more. Like, none of that stuff, it crosses my brain, but only in like an impulsive, like, not me type of way. So if someone's better than me, I want them to be where I am, and I want to be where they are.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you've always been that way. I remember like years ago, we had this interview. You're like, I'm going to have to fight these guys anyways, so might as well fight them whenever the UFC offers me to them. So that sort of makes sense. You and I actually haven't spoken since your fight with Merab. It's just, now that we're kind of, a bunch of months removed from that, what did you take away the most from that performance in that fight?
Yeah, I could. That was a tough one. I feel like Merab just controlled the fight a lot better. Like, he just controlled when we tied up, when we didn't. Man, it was close. I should have just fought through those positions a little bit quicker. It was close, and I could have had a lot more moments. But I mean, he definitely was like winning the rounds, not by a mile, but by enough to be like, okay, like, definitely Merab won that fight. But I think that if I didn't have a really bad second round, I would, because my early rounds are usually my best rounds, and Merab's best rounds are usually his late rounds. So I think if I would have had a better round in that second round and not got caught, the fight would have been different, because I think I would have bagged that round, and then I would have had to win then at least one more or whatever. But yeah, Merab's a phenomenal fighter. He's a tough guy to beat, and he's just got one of those styles where he gets to kind of control where things go. And next time I just got to be a little bit more ready for that, a little bit more urgent. But I was really surprised as to how, like, Merab usually doesn't try to milk the time as much as he did in our fight. Like, usually he's really active. Usually he'll sit someone down, like, let go of them. But he was really grabby with me, and that's okay. That's like a good strategy that he should have done. But that part caught me off guard a little bit. I should have been more forceful in those spots and just getting out quicker.
Were you surprised that Jan was able to crack the code on him and win the title?
Yeah, kind of. Jan and Merab, the first time, I was saying this even before they fought. Jan and Merab, the first time they fought, Jan has like a thing to him, and it's a thing that I think a lot of like high level people have in them, but it's like a confidence that's borderline arrogant, and it can cross that line pretty quick. And I think when him and Merab fought the first time, he was like, "Dude, I'm gonna mop this guy," and then a couple things went wrong, and it just spiraled from there. So I knew it was going to be a much closer fight. I still thought that Merab was maybe going to win, but yeah, Jan did a good job. I still think though, and Merab took the fight way too soon, in my opinion, too. He should have game planned for Jan a lot longer and given Jan a little bit more respect in that regard. But in the next fight, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very, very, very competitive fight where I could actually see Merab winning this one. Give him enough time to get ready. I think Jan just had surgery or something, so he's going to be on the couch for a little bit, and yeah, I think it's going to be a much, much closer fight this time around. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised, but I knew it'd be a really competitive fight.
Do you think that's the next fight for Jan, is the trilogy between the two? Or do you think that if O'Malley beats Zahabi, then they insert him in there? Because I think people felt like when O'Malley beat Song, just the way the matchmaking's been going, that he would get the next shot, but then obviously Jan got injured.
That would be like pretty wild. You know, like there's kind of like decisions that the UFC makes where you like kind of like raise your eyebrows at them. That one would be like, whoa, we're gonna do this right away, you know. But no, I think that Jan and Merab is definitely the fight to make next, and I'm pretty sure that that's what they'll do, especially since they just announced O'Malley. I don't really know what they're doing with Umar, but I know it's Ramadan right now.
International Fight Week is July 11th this year. Normally they do it like end of June, at least they have the last couple years. Is that good timing for you? Because that'll be a big card, and there's talk maybe Connor might be on that card too.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, from my understanding, that's going to be a really awesome card. And yeah, if they ask me to main event somewhere, I'll main event somewhere. But International Fight Week sounds pretty good too.
Yeah, and maybe we can get a rematch. Well, yeah, and if you're not fighting, they'll probably have you out as like a guest fighter, and we can do our rematch in Mario Kart, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, there we go. It's out there to the world right there, so we could do it if we need to. What are you reading right now? Any good books? Because I know you're always kind of on top of that.
I just got done reading. There's this rapper called Russ. I got done reading his book, which I liked, and then now I'm reading a graphic novel by this guy Craig Thompson that I really like, and the graphic novel is called Habibi, and it's pretty solid. I like it a lot so far.
And no more hikes scheduled? You got any, or you kind of taking a back seat to that with the gym stuff? Because you were doing like hiking and climbing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's been a really nice summer or winter, so I went up. I usually only do like one or two, maybe like two or three really big hikes. I don't really like just like walking around in the woods.
Mhm.
I like going like some adventure ones where they like take all day type of thing. So I usually just do that like two or three times a year. Definitely not during winter because it gets like way windy up there. So I'm not doing that. But yeah, no hikes scheduled. Just kind of running the gym and trying to get back to coaching good and being a good teacher.
You still got to come out here. I keep telling you, Vancouver, man, we got lots of nice mountains and stuff up here, and you'd love it. It's right up your alley. It's like Canadian Colorado in a way, you know?
Yeah, I know. I do. I just have no reason to other than I don't go on vacations, James. I don't like.
It's not
I
that
don't
far
leave.
though. The flight's not that bad. It's a couple hours, and then you get here, and you don't have a criminal record. You should be fine. So you come across the border and go for a nice hike, and then you got some more memories that you can add to, because you probably hiked most of the mountains already in Colorado, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to most of the areas. Yeah.
There you go. See, I gave you a reason. So you got to come out here, and I can give you all the good recommendations for the good ones to go to and stuff. So there you go. Got it planned out. Cory, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. Let my audience know about your new gym, where they can find it, any information, anything else you want to plug. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I started. It's called Tiger Beetle Martial Arts. Me and my wrestling coach Carrington Banks started that in Centennial, Colorado. So if you're in the area, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, it's just a really nice gym, really good environment. We have really awesome coaches. It's for kids, adults, members, people that want to compete, fighters, people that just want to come in and work out and learn. So yeah, come check us out.